Hi, Libra. Okay, so no cartoon shit, no black and white shit, like enough with the games. We want our reading. We want a normal, positive reading like you used to do when you liked us before some dumb hoe messed it up for everybody. Nope, that's not the case. It's easy to make it into that, especially if you're a Libra, because it's smart. It's a good way to take it. It's a good direction. Not necessarily true, though. Oh, man. When a spotlight is being run through your whole life to see where the holes are, to see where the healing still needs to happen. Excuse me. Poor reader's going to get caught up in it. You know what I'm saying? This is killing the messenger type shit. Like, it's, yeah, that's a hard message to deliver month after month. Oh, more places where healing is going on. Oh, look, more focus on where the wounds are. Oh, look, that area is bleeding. Oh, look, that thing has to be let go of. No, it's not fun. It's not fun to go through, and it's not fun to deliver. Chariot card. But it is what needs to happen. Shout out White Oleander in Brooklyn for the wild oleander, for the gorgeous nails. The Chariot. To me, considering what we were just talking about, it's about assuring you that everything you have gone through is just to keep you on this on your road, on your specific road. So now the Chariot also is about speed. It's about haste. It's about passion, but in a rushing way where you maybe you want more answers than you can have. You want things to move faster. You want, like, are we getting married or divorced? Like, what, you know? And yeah, I understand what I just said. So if you're seeing someone, you're like, are we getting married or are we breaking up? And if you're married to someone, you're like finding out stuff that you're like, are we getting divorced or are we staying together? Like, what are we doing? And the Chariot is an indication of whatever you've gone through so far, wherever you've been able to see the holes in yourself where healing needed to come in and energy needed to be paid to that place. Wherever you've done that has just kept you on this path, on your life path, your destiny. So what's Aquarius season about? Sister sign, air sign, thank goodness. We needed a little air. It's been a while, right? All the way since Libra season. Man, we needed some air. So here we are, but the air we are in now is contained. We are in a room that has a specific amount of air. And that's fixed air, like being in a submarine, a bubble of air in the larger expanse that is, you know, the abstract universe. So what do we do in this little bubble? The Chariot. Well, the Chariot is the Cancerian card. It is about being in a shell. If you're dealing with a Cancer, they're coming up super strong. They're right there at the beginning of your reading, like, hey, what's up? You may have had Cancers trying to hit you up, wanting to get back in touch if this is someone you haven't spoken to in a while. But it's also about the contained nature of the season for you. There's a lot of like private, passionate stuff going on with you. You're in your head a lot, which is normal, but more so you're in your head about the things that you love. You're not sharing those things this month. You're not quite as social. This is a much more personal month. It's about being with yourself or with another person that you find to be, you know, that you love as much as you love yourself. And you're also thinking about, like, if you're with someone and you don't love them like you love yourself, you're like, what am I exactly doing, you know? Ace of Pentacles. In terms of career and just good fortune, towards the middle of the month, things look really, really good for you. You have the opportunity to just chill and receive some good stuff Ace of Pentacles, like, the best thing about it is you don't have to do anything. I love that the Ace of Pentacles comes up so much in the readings that I do for you guys, just because I feel like it's such a, you know, abundant energy is contagious. You can give it to each other. You can pass it along with your vibe. You know, you can emanate an abundance. And once you get into that vibe, it's really pretty easy to keep it rolling if you know how to keep the momentum. The Chariot and the Ace of Pentacles, definitely about momentum, about speed, wanting to push things maybe that are going to take a little bit longer. The Ace of Pentacles is also a lot of times being given a gift that materially you may not understand at the time. So it's being shown something that right now seems awful, but then later you're like, oh my God, that's the best thing I ever found out. Like, if I hadn't known that, then this wouldn't have happened and this wouldn't have happened. So it is a time of great blessing, regardless of how it looks to you right now. Just understand that it's super good for you. And I'm not saying it's going to be something quote unquote bad. I'm just saying, just understand that whatever it is, it's definitely for your benefit, and it's designed probably by you yourself, designed to keep you on track, on the chariot road, which is you doing you. Do you, Libra? I'm into it. I'm into you guys getting all the monies and all the fames and all the acclaims for just being you. Why not? You being you is super, super beautiful and super attractive and compelling and makes you want to buy things and makes you want to go places. You know, Libras are enticing. Libras make make being social look easy, which is a huge thing to do because most people are not social and they can sell the social life. You know, that's why you see so many Libras are models, also because they're so symmetrical. But they're good at selling what they happen to naturally be, what you happen to naturally be, but what is in our broader world, what we base our consumer market on. Right? Like the ability to be social, the ability to go out and have fun, talk to all kinds of different people, be charming, be good looking, be well dressed, really, you know, taking care of the whole appearance and the whole vibe of what you're putting out there. Like, Libras don't just get dressed. Libras get into a vibe. Like this whole, this whole thing is like a vibe, right? So, I'm all for you guys getting paid just to be you. Why not? Like, you make being you so attractive and so interesting that it's lucrative. Why not make money off of that? I'm into it. So the Chariot and the Ace of Pentacles, in the light of that, is, you know, keep doing you. Just keep being as authentically you as possible, and the money comes in, which is so funny because we found our way there, but really it's been the theme of every reading. And I think that just has to do with what Aquarius season is. Aquarius season is fiercely itself, as are Aquarians. And that, you know, that colors like a filter over a photograph, that colors the entire season for every sign. So for you, specifically Libra, you know, your authenticity, it can be, I don't think it's ever hard for Libras to be authentic. I think whenever you hear people say like Libras are fake, they're just really not capable of the social understanding that you have. They just like, they don't understand nuance, right? You're one of those signs that gets a lot of flack for being you. Right, so like a Taurus. So if a Taurus is being very much a Taurus and wants to, instead of going out to an after party, you know, or going out and then going to an after party at 3 a.m. and then going to another thing at 6 a.m. and then staying out all the next day and having brunch with 10 new people and blah, 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 a Taurus is going to want to go home and maybe cook something for people, even if they're having them over. I'm not saying they're not social. And it's like, people are like, okay, well, the Taurus wants to go home. That's, you know, that's understandable. It is really late. It is. So they're just being authentically themselves. And it is so accepted. Other signs, when they're authentically themselves, get a lot of flack for it, and people tend to resent the wealth you can pull in from your authenticity. So if someone like a Gemini is being super, super extra and they're getting paid off of being extra, people are like, obviously the Gemini is being so annoying. So, you know, but they're authentically being themselves, right? So for Libras, when you're authentically yourself and you're really out here like serving all the looks, you know, and doing all the things and meeting all the peoples and connecting all the peoples and just, you know, making everything more livable and livelier and attractive to the point where we want to buy it from you. A lot of people look at Libran authenticity and misread it for fakeness, misread it for superficiality, misread it for a certain shallowness, but really it's quite shrewd, isn't it? It's really intelligent. Like, that's what people always miss. Libra is an air sign. It's an intellectual sign. It's a sign of thinking and fairness and justice. And again, a card of speed, a card of emphasis, a card of, I want to express myself and I want to get what I want to get and I want to get it now. And you need to just hold it a little. Because when you look at the cards, you'll see the Knight of Swords running at the Ace of Pentacles, and it's like, okay, it's coming to you. You don't have to do all that, but it's like you feel it, right? There's like this latent passion with Libras that is starting to come out in certain places because you are kind of like the stuff we're talking about right now. On a macro level, you guys have been dealing with this, but also on a personal level, you've been dealing with this. And I think a lot of you are just tired, and you've been very nice for very long, but you just really don't like being clowned and you don't like being judged. And most of all, this is what I notice about Libras, because, you know, I have a very close Libra relative, right? Most of all, I find that the thing that you get irritated by, the thing that's making you guys sort of Knight of Swords come out of your, you know, shell with this passionate energy, is when people underestimate you. When people think you're stupid because you're put together. When people think you're dumb because you're friendly. When people think you're shallow because you know how to be social and put yourself together and not be out here a mess, embarrassing yourself. You know? But I think people think Leos are dumb for the same reason, which is, it just blows my mind. It's like, here's this person who is so intelligent that they've figured out, again, this is about nuance, they've figured out that this matters so much in our interaction socially with people that they put a lot of time and effort into this aspect of communication, because this is also an aspect of communication, and it's part of how Libras communicate. The air signs communicate. Libra communicates through its aesthetic, right? Through its ideology. Well, all air signs through ideology, but it's channeled in different ways. So here's this person that is smart enough to figure out that the aesthetic is so important, and is so important, especially when it comes to communication, that they go out of their way and they do extra, you know, however long, usually on a daily basis, because Libras are very disciplined about certain things, that it makes their interaction smoother, it makes their communication smoother and more successful. Libras get what they want, right? How you can look at that as being shallow, stupid, superficial is like beyond me. It's like, this is someone who's figured out the game, and you're, not only are you hating on them for figuring out the game and being mad at them, but you haven't figured out the game yet. So also you're dumb. That's weird. King of Wands and the Hierophant. So this fire energy, this Mars, man, it's really Mars. It's going to move into a place for you that has to do with family. The Hierophant also has to do with family, tradition, marriage, Taurus, right? Taurus. So if you're dealing with a Taurus, you want answers. You want commitment. You are like rushing into the situation like, all right, Holmes, what are we doing? Because there is a 5 of Cups, bottom of the deck, 6 of Wands, bottom of the deck, 3 of Wands. There is a worry on your part that things will go the way they have gone before. And you're like, you know, I would rather just skip. before that happens. Like, let me skip off and do my Libra thing if what we're about to do is a rehash of what's been done before or the excuses I've heard before. Whoa, I'm having major deja vu. Or situations like this that have happened to me in the past. Like, I'm not trying to relive anything, like any of my traumas. And that's part of what Aquarius season is going to be about as well. It's about the last of the places where the healing hasn't happened. Any interactions that bring out this Knight of Swords energy for you, especially against someone who is an authority figure, King of Wands, a Taurus, a fire sign, a Cancer, right? These are, one is a cardinal energy. The other is super powerful fire. The other is, you know, the Hierophant is this, the establishment, the society we were just talking about in which Libra functions. So any of these come up against you, you may feel, even if they're just trying to communicate with you, that they're coming up against you. So if you feel like, you know, people, like in Desi culture, we call it society. Like society is your society is turning on you, or you're coming into conflict. Take a step back, because you have the ability to be too harsh. Everybody does. I've also noticed this, along with be your fiercely authentic self. I've also noticed that everyone is being cautioned to be a bit reserved with their words, because the knife is very sharp, and it's sharp both ways. And it's very, very agile. It's very effective. And so even the slightest slip and the slightest lack of awareness, and you're going to end up saying things that are way too harsh, and come close to ending things and regretting things. And you don't want to do that. So just as a general, just for everyone, every sign, everyone you know, just pulling back a little bit. But also, now that you know this, you can go to people, you can, when you interact with people, you can say to them, if they are too harsh with you, or you can say within yourself, okay, we know that this is the energy right now, and we know that people don't even mean to be doing this. So if you can stand being that magnanimous, it will only be to your benefit. Now, if you're dealing with a Taurus that you are sad that it's over, don't worry. 6 of Wands, 3 of Wands, by the end of the month, an energy comes in that you're like, ooh, I'm actually, with a little time here, I've realized that was the best thing that could have happened, and I'm really happy to move forward. And immediately you find a new direction forward, whether it's like, oh, I'm going to travel here, or a friend is like, why don't you come see me here, or why don't you take this job, or hey, this thing has come up, we need you over here. Something is going to distract you. If you're dealing with the hurt from a Cancer or a fire sign, there is this need on your part. Somehow you're magnetically drawn back. You want to say something. You want to clear the air. You want to fight. You want to, you're amped, but you also feel stuck. You don't know what to do. Like, should you address it? Should you not address it? Should you move forward? There's always this, this period of balancing it out, of thinking it through. And once I get caught in your energy, I can kind of hear both sides of it in my head. Like, there's a part of you that could take this situation and run with it, and really you have a lot to say and you feel like you're in the right. And then there's a part of you that's like, I really don't care and I want to just move forward. But it's the back and forth that is always exhausting with you guys. And this is a big back and forth. So what I would do if I were you is I would focus on the Ace of Pentacles. I would focus on the power, the strength, the fire of the King of Wands. I would focus on the abundance, the stability, the commitment that comes with the Hierophant. And, really keep that particular image burned into your mind. We need to move from a 5 of Cups, right, to a 6 of Wands. We really need to, because the 5 of Cups, when it comes up towards the middle of the month, what it's going to show you is, where is that feeling lingering in you still? Where is that place that is not healed yet? Because there's so little left to work on. There's so little left to heal. And then 6 of Wands, 3 of Wands. You have your, is it really over? Is it actually really over? Yes. And unfortunately, the other aspect of Aquarius season that seems to be pretty universal is it's not quite time yet. So we're almost there, and March is like, you can feel it, you know, the fish will swim and we'll just take off. But we have this period of fixed air before we're let out into the ocean that is the 12th house subconscious. And in this period of fixed air, being in this submarine, being in this air bubble of fixed air before we're let out into, you know, the expanse that is Pisces season, we have some healing to do, some thinking to do, some letting go to do, some pushing forward to do, some really big decisions about whether we stay or we go, especially when it comes to partnership, whether it is financial or romantic. And we need to do it because we really don't want to carry any unhealed stuff into Pisces season. Because you know what's going to happen when you get in the salt water with the gunshot wound? It's going to hurt. What we want to do is we want to, in Aquarius season, sit within the bubble and go, ah, a wound. Ooh, something touched the wound. Here is the wound. I see it. I feel it. Let me address it. Let me address it not with aggression, not with trying to push through it, not with getting mad at myself for having the wound still, not for not being smarter the first time around, whatever that means, but instead let me address it, let me bandage it, let me take a look at it, even if it means the bandage is all over your body, right? Even if the wound that we're talking about that hasn't been addressed yet is everything, it doesn't matter. Aquarius season is in that way very efficient. You know, it's fixed air. It has a certain amount to deal with and it gets it done in the amount that it has to work with. So either you are almost done with your healing, you've got one little place left where you've put, you know, a band-aid and you're like, okay, and let's ride out Aquarius season and that's cool. And then we'll jump into Pisces and I'm good because all I had was a scratch. There's some of us who are going into Aquarius season and it's one big wound. But Aquarius season is the vacuumed, clean, sterile, fixed air. You get in there and it's going to regenerate you if you let it, if you use the season properly, which is not getting stuck in the 5 of Cups, but moving into the 6 of Wands, not giving in to the Knight of Swords energy, but instead having faith in the slower but much surer grounding Ace of Pentacles energy. One is I'm going to do it myself, and the other is the universe is bringing it to me. And right now Libra's going back and forth about everything. Am I the one that's supposed to be out here with this thing, chasing this thing, pursuing this thing, or is it supposed to be coming to me? The Chariot is about your destiny, your kismet, your life path. No one can take that from you. Whatever's on that road that the Chariot drives on, only you have access to pick those things up. It's not fucking Mario Kart where other people can get on the road and take the mushroom that's supposed to be for you. It's just you on the track by yourself. It's like playing Smash Bros or Mario Kart or whatever without anybody else. It's just you riding around. Now, if you don't want to drive by and pick up the mushroom, you don't have to. You can drive that same track a million times and miss the mushroom, but until you pick up the mushroom, you're not going to the next level. So the Chariot is like, look, this is your road. Everything on this road is for you. The Ace of Pentacles is like, here's something on your road. There's the thing, pick it up. And the Knight of Swords is the Mario Kart just rushing by, not picking up the thing, and then going, why am I not getting to the next level? Why am I not? The healing is there. It is staring you in the face. It wants to be addressed, but you don't have to linger there. That's what the non-committal side of Libra is like, I don't want to address it because then I'm going to get stuck there and I'm going to have to think about that too much and then I'm going to go down this like rabbit hole and no thanks, right? No, you won't get stuck there. You need to address it so you can fix it and move on. Like I said, even if the Band-Aid is all over your body, pick up the thing, use it, put the Band-Aid all over your body, and by the end of Aquarius season, as we move into Pisces season, you will be healed. Well, how is that possible? That seems really unlikely. No, because whether you realize it or not, you've been going through this process of healing for years now. This is the culmination of it. So ride it out. 6 of Wands, 3 of Wands, ride it out. We don't have much more time to go here. You know, by March, things are so vastly different from now that you'll be like, whoa, remember how much like 2016 to 2018 sucked? You know, and every other Libra, you know, will be like, thank God that's over. Thank God that's over. Now, on to more positive things. Knew I spoke too soon. 7 of Swords to 7 of Wands. Okay, that's still very positive. You may find out some stuff that you need to find out to finally overcome an issue. You may feel finally victorious because the truth about something comes out, the truth that you've been looking for a long time. It is a huge theme this month for Libras, that there's something that you've had a hunch about, like something that you were like, something's not right, something's not right, something's not right. And then finally in February, it's like, boom, you get what you need to know. You see it. You see the 7 of Swords. You see the guy with the swords. And you're like, finally, I knew I was right. It could happen. It could happen. In some way or another, you're going to have that moment, whether it's like a relationship or work stuff or school stuff or family stuff, where you look at someone and they do something where they totally show their ass and you're like, I knew I was right. Just want to put that out there. I knew I was right. So let's take a look at these cards because it's pretty interesting. I stayed home from going out on a Saturday night, on one of the only Saturday nights I'm in New York, to do your reading because I love you so much. Don't doubt how much I love you. That's crazy. Happy Valentine's Day. I'll see you in a minute. Hi, Libra. As you can see, life path, money, you asserting yourself, your power, coming up against authority or those who you have instinctively thought had power over you, confronting the traditions and the norms, the societal norms, the commitments that keep us together. There is some regret for some Libras who will find their way out of their commitments. There is much joy for those who will deepen their commitments or find a way to rejuvenate them. There are those that will move on because of deceit and those that will be moved on from because of deceit. There is a great sense of optimism and a strong energy of manifestation. Slow and steady over here, fast over here. And here is the Libra balance. You will go back and forth. You will feel pulled back. You will feel let go. And as we come to the end of Aquarius season, I fear you will be exhausted. But you will know so much more. That's a pretty good trade-off. We have a couple more things going on, just in terms of when to set your intentions. The February 4th new moon seems like a very good time to indulge in the chariot energy. Just getting clear on what it is you want to see down that road. Also around the full moon on the 19th, taking the time to allow the universe to show you what it wants to show you. You have to look up though. Right? And looking up doesn't necessarily mean being aggressive. There is a middle way. And the middle way may be just to go your own way. Remember, the authentic life, to be the authentic self, is the theme in Aquarius season. Which means you may finally want to confront something that you've been in denial about. It's also about other people being their authentic self. And perhaps showing you who they are, or perhaps telling you that they don't really want to be around you anymore. It's harsh, but it's honest. And what's left afterwards is a sense of great accomplishment, abundance, and also bravery, excitement for the future. The knowing, the faith, right? The knowing that everything is fair and that karma will speak the truth and that you are protected, that you are watched over. 2 angels back to back, right? The trials that come this month, if they do, are only for your benefit, and for those who are past all of that and more into the 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands energy already, congrats. The road is long and fruitful. Okay, Libra, happy Aquarius season. Let's get into this extended. We'll clarify card by card. I will see you in a minute. I love you.